Good morning, Jonestown.
Good Morning Jonestown is brought to you by the following sponsors.
This episode of Good Morning Jonestown is brought to you by Audible.com, your number one resource on the internet for audiobooks. With Audible.com, listening is the new reading.
All right.
Head on over to Audible.com where you get 1 month free trial and make sure and use promo code RussellandTonyPod for 1 free download.
So go on over to audible.com today and check out their featured books for the month.
Like The Demon Haunted World by Carl Sagan and read by Carl Sagan.
A Brief History of Time by Stephen W. Hawking, narrated by Stephen W. Hawking.
The Twilight Saga, written by J.K. Rowling and narrated by Wolf Blitzer.
A Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, narrated by Larry David.
1984 by George Orwell, narrated by Sam Walton.
Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, narrated by Mel Gibson.
Corporal punishment.
Because I feel like everybody goes through that, where you get beat and send
And
your
then
room.
there's the-
It's like bad parents don't have that talk afterwards.
Yeah.
We all got our ass whooped.
Yeah.
But good parents, 15, 20 minutes later, would call and eventually tell you I love you. And
Yeah, like, because before it, he would, I know you don't believe this, but this hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah.
And you're like, motherfucker, you're beating the shit
I
out
said
of
that
this
to him
fucking
one time,
8-year-old.
dude. I said that. I was like, why don't you give me the belt and we'll see what hurts more. Dude, I got that worst ass whooping of my life.
But the one that got me was my dad, one of his lines, which, this is a classic country child abuse line. I'm going to beat you till you cry, and I'm going to beat you till you stop.
Like, next level. That's some Game of Thrones shit, dude. Your dad was a Targaryen. It's that. I remember one time, dude, my dad, he was like, I'm going to let you go, and you can stuff your pants, put a phone book in your butt, in your pants, you can do whatever you want. You can, and I put pillows and all kind of stuff there. He came and, like, spanked my legs or something,
I got out of one once because I actually did something like that. It was wintertime, and I went and put on, 8 pairs of sweatpants.
You did something funny.
Yeah,
you
and,
got
I
out
came,
with
and I
humor.
came in, and I was trying to, hide it, but I
Yeah.
was being silly.
Yeah.
And my parents both started laughing so hard that I didn't get a spanking.
And that's the day you became a stand-up comic, dude.
Right.
You learned, dude. Your two little things that weren't firing together in your brain, made a connection.
Yeah.
And ever since then, you're like, oh, this is how I will survive.
And you can stuff your pants, put a phone book in your butt, so you can do whatever you want. And you can stuff your pants, put a phone book in your butt, so you can do whatever you want. And you can stuff your pants, put a phone book in your butt, so you can do whatever you want. And you can stuff your pants, put a phone book in your butt, so you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
This segment of Good Morning Jonestown is brought to you by the Blue Angels.
The Blue Angels, a promotional division of the military-industrial complex.
We generate profits by going to war.
Now you do what they told you.
come death, the destroyer of worlds.
This segment of Good Morning Jonestown was taped in front of a live studio audience.
Have you ever been out to the beach for Blue Angels?
Yeah, like one time, I think.
Okay, have you ever been out on a boat when like people go out to the Sabine, that little inlet?
No, but I can imagine.
Okay, it's just packed with boats.
Yeah. Jimmy Buffett fan club meeting.
We went, my buddy drove, there were two other people, like they were all drinking and I was on LSD. And I don't really recommend that.
Yeah.
You know, I was a young man. I was,
Yeah.
you know. But I tell you this was the last time I ever saw the Blue Angels. I remember being out in that Sabine, and there were all these boats, and there's people floating around in the water, you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of these boats, like some were running the engine so they can have power and shit. And I'm just like, man, what if like, how flammable is this water right now? You know,
Yeah.
like people are out here drinking, they're spilled.
I think I read about this in Revelation.
Yeah,
This is how it started.
this is where it happens.
The
man.
rider on the white jet ski. Okay.
He crashes into the
And he
boat.
had
And so I was sitting out there on acid, stuck. I mean, you're stuck there till it's over. And then it's like traffic, boat traffic
Right.
to get out. And
white person problem.
Yeah.
I've been stuck in traffic all
Boat
night.
traffic.
Boat traffic is the word.
And it hit me really hard how, okay, there's thousands of people on the beach.
Yeah.
They either drove their cars out or they drove boats out.
Right.
Then this air show, there's like 20 different planes total. They're all burning jet fuel.
Right.
Gallons and gallons and gallons of it. For what?
Right.
And then I was like,
so people can view the Harlem Globetrotters of the armed forces.
Yeah.
That's what the Blue Angels are.
well, and you know, what I was seeing on acid was this is a psychological recruiting tool for children.
Yeah, my nephew wants to be a Blue Angel.
Yeah. 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 If you're on a head full of acid, it's so obvious. That
Well-
kind of shit, you're just like, oh my God, how is this legal?
I've thought about that. Like, if you, I have thought about that before, of not just the money that it takes to go for all the people, how much money is spent. Like, they talk about the Blue Angels. Remember a few years ago when they wanted to defund that?
Yeah,
The Blue Angels?
yeah.
Yeah, that was stupid because they're like, well, that's big for our economy. It's like, dude, look at all the impact on our economy of that, of how much gas is just burned up.
Well,
in
and the
that one thing.
littering and all the shit.
Yeah,
that
dude,
happens.
it's got a negative impact. Any of the people, like the economy, that's good for, I guess, a few business owners on the beach.
Yeah, but it's bad for the environment on the
Right,
beach.
and the people there, if the economy, if it's a real trickle-down economy, any of the money people spend to go out there, maybe 1/5,000th of that will trickle back into their pockets, the money they spent to go out there. They make it seem like we're making money by going out to sea.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like that at all. It's totally stupid.
Well, and it's like, it's 1 day a year. How much money could it be? Like the actual show that everyone goes out there
Yeah,
for.
and the Blue Angels, dude, they act like it's grounding them as 1 day a year show. Dude, they practice multiple times a week because where we
oh,
live,
yeah, they
fly
practice
over
all the time. Yeah,
dude.
well, and they go on tour.
Yeah.
Speaking of acid and Blue Angels.
They're like the Harlem Globetrotters. They go to town
yeah.
and fly against other towns'
We were
planes
at
that
a
aren't
fucking-
as good, and they lose.
We were at a fucking concert in, I think we were in Kansas City. We
the
ate
Gathering? You were at the Gathering?
No.
I didn't know you went to the Gathering.
And we took acid, and so we're back, and we're staying, you know, in a hotel room in the city, and so we're like up, we're like on
Yeah.
like the 20th floor of this hotel, and I go and I open the curtain when we get back in the room,
Yeah.
and the fucking Blue Angels fly right by the fucking window,
Dude.
and I was just like, dude,
Whoa.
I was like, dude, come
Dude,
here.
I just saw the Blue Angels.
I was like, come here, man.
This is some good shrooms, man. I just saw the Blue Angels. Yeah, I like how you call angels Call them angels, the people that drop bombs on people, you know? Oh, here come the angels. Oh, they're dropping angel packages, and I'm dead.
Yeah, it's murder. It's mass murder.
And hey, here's the thing. At least in World War II era, at least we were honest. Like all the flying fleets were called like the Hellcats and the Demon Dogs.
Yeah.
Like that, those kill people.
Yeah.
Oh, the Blue Angels.
Yeah, they have Blue Angels.
Yeah. Like
But
everything's a mind game.
But their weapons are decommissioned. They're just, they're just for show.
Then that's even dumber.
Right.
That's even dumber. What if there was an imminent threat to this nation and they're like, oh, literally North Korea? I wouldn't believe them if they were like, North Korea's going to literally send nukes
you know what we should
right
do?
now. Like, why are, you know what I'm saying? That's a time. That's when I want the Blue Angels. Send the Blue Angels.
We should write the worst
movie.
Like Armageddon type movie where it somehow it comes down to the Blue Angels have to save the day and they don't have weapons on their jets.
So they have to fly their planes into buildings there. They have to fly their planes into their...
They have to go over to North Korea.
To Dubai.
To all the high rises.
Yeah, they have to fly their planes.
If you're looking for the answer, it's so obvious. If you're looking for the answer, it's so obvious. If you're looking for the answer, it's so obvious. If you're looking for the answer, it's so obvious. If you're on a head full of acid, it's so obvious.
Hey, President Bush was in the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Or was he in the National Guard? He was in the National Guard, which is even lower, wasn't it?
He's in the Boy Scouts. Trump
He was an RA.
The royal ambassador. I bet Bush was, but it was like Skull and Bones Jr. You know what I mean?
I'm a royal ambassador for Christ.
I'm a royal ambassador for Satan. That's what he is. He's in the RA.
My
Ra. So they worship the sun god Ra.
My mama's the demon ritual baby of Aleister Crowley.
Dude. All right, dude. I hate to lasso onto like one of the ridiculous conspiracy theories, dude. But someone told me that, like, look up that Barbara Bush is the daughter of Aleister Crowley.
I've seen that one.
Dude, it looks legit, dude. The pictures look believable.
Well, and the people he was around. And
right. It adds up, dude. I don't know. That's very compelling.
Yeah.
That's a compelling one. That's
You know what's really funny is Crowley said that when he came back, and he would come back as a woman. And so, like, apparently every fucking week some woman thinks that she's...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It took her 30 years to realize it, but I realized.
Yeah, it took me 30 years to realize it. It has nothing to do with the fact that I just now read that Crowley said he was coming back as a woman. But maybe he came back as Barbara Bush.
Or one of the George Bush's daughters. Dude, have you seen those paintings that George Bush does now?
Yeah.
I try to find Illuminati symbolism. But they're all like...
They're so juvenile,
yeah,
man.
They're like retarded.
They're like 8th grade.
Yeah.
Like, he might place it in a middle school art show.
Maybe.
I don't know. I saw some good shit for middle schoolers.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Maybe in a middle school.
Yeah. Maybe like a middle school.
Might get like a participation trophy. Just for like, you used a lot of colors. Here's a ribbon.
I can tell this is a cat.
Yeah. I can tell this is Vladimir Putin in a bathtub and his feet are hanging out.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
I'm just trying to humanize Putin.
It's a strange thing to get into afterwards. It's because no one wants to pay for a speech from him.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to start painting pictures. He's like, man, I can't wait till after I stop being president. People will pay me hundreds of $1,000s to speak.
$1 million.
Like,
Obama gets paid $1 million to give a speech.
Well, that's Obama. He knows
That's
how
what I
to
mean.
speak.
Well, and Clinton did too. Like after Clinton was president, he cleaned up going around speaking.
Yeah.
So did I think even Reagan. No, he went senile, didn't he? Yeah, he went fucking...
I don't know how long afterwards he kind of lost it.
My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
Let's do that. No.
Just us three guys. Dude, when I was an RA at Florida State, my first year, I was an RA at this place called Southgate. That's where I worked the whole time. And it was an off-campus dorm that was basically on campus. It was anyway. One day I was in there and I heard this girl, and she was a good-looking chick. And dude, it sounded like she was screaming, having sex. You know what I mean? It was like,
Yeah.
oh God, and people were like coming out. I was like, no, yeah. It just sounded like the most passionate sex going on, and I should have gone and checked. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Oh God, and people were like coming out. I was like, no, yeah. It just sounded like the most passionate sex going on, and I should have gone and checked. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
If someone's
Keeping the
making
order.
a ton of noise, like it's like I don't want to be a jerk, but like you're screaming or whatever. So I went over there and it was a whole thing, and her dad had died, and I was like, what kind of relationship do you have with your dad? And her crying sounded a lot like fucking, dude. It was the craziest thing. It was kind of hot, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, dude, it was like the most sexual grieving I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
I wonder whatever happened to her.
I wonder whatever happened to
I
her.
wonder if she needs a father figure right now. All I'm saying is I want to be there when her mom dies. I want to be around. So just in earshot.
Just, you know, preferably in a private room in earshot.
Oh, God.
All I'm saying is I want to be there when her mom dies. I want to be around.
Oh, God. But I acknowledge that, so it's okay.
Yeah, although in China, you know, they got their own filtered internet, so I don't know how much American porn they have access to.
Give me a break. That is the first thing that you figure out. Right?
Probably.
If you have filtered internet, but you know America, that there's porno here, that's the first thing that people will do. Then after that, it's food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll make sure they have food to eat. The first thing they're going to figure out how to do is bypass that filtered internet to see some American titties. Straight up. That's number one on the list.
I guess really though, like, you know, England and Europe, they make a lot of porn too.
Give me a break.
They do.
I know they do, but
You can always tell by the accents.
they have to blur out their genitals in England.
No, that's not it. That's China, isn't it?
I know, yeah. No, that's Japan.
Japan, yeah, they can't show dicks or vaginas, right? Or just dicks.
I don't even know why they even have it. Just have clothed people humping each other and
Or shoot it like softcore is shot here, where
Yeah.
you shoot it where the dick's just not in the scene, so you don't have to blur it.
yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like it really ruins the whole mood when there's blurred things on the screen. You know,
See, doesn't work.
doesn't work.
We'll edit that out.
Well, we can edit anything out.
Yeah. Edit something in that was funny. Edit in a laugh, an entire auditorium laughing.
this is what's gonna happen. America's gonna attack North Korea. China's gonna say that it was unwarranted, then they're gonna team up with Russia, and then America's gone, then America's gone, then America's gone, then America's gone, then America's gone.